I think it's a pleasure to have this event here today because handling these challenges, it cannot be done without the government. So having the Prime Minister speaking with us today is important. First of all, to be competitive, we need to look at different areas. We need to look at the foreign direct investment. We need to look at the local community, those that are here already, and we also need to look at SMEs specifically and entrepreneurs. Now, if you look at the government, it's very important the government comes with very clear policies. If we don't have clear policies, then for foreign direct investment, it is difficult to make a decision if they should invest or not invest. Areas that the JFCCT has worked on for a long time is the Foreign Business Act, foreign ownership, and also service liberalization. Those are long-term policies and long-term advocacy works that we have, but it's areas that we hope that this government will look at. We hope that specifically when it comes to work permit and visa, that we find ways to ease those processes. Some of the laws are outdated. Some of the laws and requirements could be made easier. I would say a lot of it can be digitalized. So if we focus on digitalization, which I know that the Prime Minister is doing, she was at the FTI Expo yesterday, and she clearly said that reform is something that the government takes serious. And it's also areas that we need to look at to make sure that Thailand is driven in a positive direction. Well, first of all, clear policies is important. Looking at ease of doing business, trying to make a digital government with a single sign-on is important. I believe that for foreign direct investors, Thailand is an attractive country. The geographical location, being in the center of ASEAN, offers a lot of opportunities. And also the history of manufacturing and the Thai people is something that attracts foreigners. It's high quality of living here for families. It is also a country that has always been at peace. So I think Thailand has a lot of positives, but we do struggle with laws that are a little bit outdated. We do need to look at reforming those. So again, service liberalization is important because workforce is something that I think all countries are struggling with at the moment, but skilled workforce, particularly in the new target industries, is areas that if we don't do something about it, then investors will come and the workforce is not available. We also would like to see the government focusing on maybe more freer flow of workforce across border. This will allow new innovation, new technologies to come in. And I believe in general that with the global unrest, with trade wars going on, I think Thailand needs to look at its strengths, look at where they could attract new investments, and then focus on those and make that easy. Well, first of all, ESG is not something that we should think about embracing. It's something we all need to do. Environment, social, and governance. Those are three areas that I think we, as SMEs, we often will look at this not being so important, but it is important. SMEs are important to the Thai government, to the Thai economy. I believe it covers around 70% of the Thai economy. So it's important that they don't fall behind. Now, having said that, when it comes to ESG, there's a lot of requirements. Environment, social, and governance is areas that is costly. So it's important to make sure that we cater for the SMEs. One, the government has a very important role in this. We need to make sure that they are allowed the time and the journey that is needed in order to implement. We need to make sure that they're part of the supply chain. And as important is it that the private sector is part of this change. So if you look at the larger companies, they have a role to play where they will need to train the SMEs. They will need to pass on information. They will need to give them a toolkit in order to make sure that they can comply and be part of their supply chain. And I believe the government could look at incentives that SMEs that actually do take that investment and embrace that change, they make sure that they could have some incentives, or maybe for that sake that they have possibilities on projects, opportunities. Sometimes it's not just the incentives of tax reductions, it's also incentives of having opportunities. I know that ESG is something that if you do embrace it, especially for a country like Thailand that is an export country, it is requirements. In Europe and other places in the world, ESG is something that you have to comply to. So as an example, you have the CSRD and CS3D where you will have to do reporting over the next 2 years. Now, if SMEs don't get ready for this, then they will lose opportunities and possibly also lose their chance of selling abroad. I think together with the government, public and private sector, if we work together, we can make that positive change and make sure that the Thai economy stays strong.